All right, everybody, today is Friday, September 4th. Already you should have your attendance quiz done. Take your notebook out and update your table of contents. Again, today is the 4th. We're talking about functions, domain, and range today. So make sure that gets into your table of contents, and that is also the title for today's notes. All right, for your warm-up, I want you to pause this video and go solve for A. This is what we've been doing in class the last 2 days. Go solve for A. All right? So now you've unpaused the video. I'm solving for A here. In order to solve for A, I need to move everything to the other side, so the left-hand side. I'm going to do that by subtracting 2 first. That leaves me with B minus 2 equals 1/5 A. Now I'm going to get rid of this fraction by multiplying by its reciprocal. All right, so when I do that here, my 1's cancel, my 5's cancel. This 5/1 here has to be multiplied to each part inside. Remember when we were solving, whenever we saw something on the outside, we had to distribute it. So 5/1 times B is 5B. 5/1 times -2 is -10 equals A. And that's my final answer. All right, today we're going to discuss functions, and we're going to discuss something called domain and range in a discrete graph. All right, so we're going to talk about that stuff today. First off is, what is a function? You guys actually might remember this from middle school. A function is an equation where every x value only has one value. The key thing that you need to make sure you know is that x does not repeat for a function. All right? So make sure that you have all this down in your notebook. All right, so key thing I'm looking for in any type here, any type of representation of a function is I'm looking to see, does the x values repeat? If it does, it is not a function. So I'm looking here in the red table. I see 0, 1, 2, 3. My x's did not repeat. That makes this a function. But if I look on the right, I see -1, 0, -1. My -1's there repeated. So this right here, not a function. As we're going through this, guys, I would suggest writing down at least 1 or 2 of these to let you know, okay, 1 or 2 of these show these are what functions look like, and then also show one where it shows where they are not functions. All right, here, if I'm looking at these graphs, the way I know if I have a function, again, my x's do not repeat. Easiest way to do this is if it's on paper, I do the vertical line test. When I do the vertical line test, I'll draw a vertical line going through my coordinates that are on the graph. If, when I draw this vertical line, I cross 2 dots like I just did, that means this is not a function. Whereas on this one here, no matter where I go, I never cross 2 dots. All right. Again, I'm looking to see, is there more than one line going from each x value? Not on this one. That one's a function. But on this one here, I see -1 has 2 lines, making this not a function. All right, lastly, I can be given coordinates. Again, I'm looking at the x values. Remember, in a coordinate, the first number is x, the second number is y. So really, I'm only looking at the x's. I see 4, 7, -2, and 7. Oh, right there, I saw 2 numbers that are the same. So purple is not a function. 3, 7, 2, negative 7. We can have 7 and negative 7 can be a function. All right, again, just a few more examples. I see here 15 has 2 lines, so number 1 is a no. Number 2, I got negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Those are all different numbers. Number 2 would be a yes. Why don't you try number 3 and number 4? Pause the video and see if you can decide whether these are functions. All right, if I'm checking here, negative 5 is good, negative 4 is good, negative 2, not good. I got 2 dots on the same x value. So number 3 is a no. Number 4, again, I have a graph. No matter where I end up drawing the line on this one, always hit it twice. So again, this is another no. And that's it with functions for now. Now, with every function, I'm going to have a domain and a range. What domain and range are these two. You definitely need to write these definitions down, right? All of this definition down right here for domain and range. Domain is the set of possible values of an independent variable of a function. In other words, domain is your x values. Range, the set of possible values of a dependent variable of a function. In other words, all your y values. So domain is going to be all the x values of an equation or a function. Range is going to be all the y values of an equation or function. All right, so before we talk more about domain and range, we need to review something about how to evaluate functions. Pause this video and evaluate this function right now for me, please. All right, so I have this equation right here. I got this number right here. Remember, that's the only two things that are important here, guys. I don't care about any other things besides those two things. So I have 4x minus 9 plus 7, and I know x equals 15. So that's what I'm going to plug in. 4 times 15 minus 9 plus 7. 4 times 15 minus 9 is 6. Yeah, 6. Plus 7. 4 times 6 is 24 plus 7. And 24 plus 7 is 31. And that's how you evaluate functions again. The reason why we're reviewing this is because we're now going to apply what we have learned already with domain and range. So sometimes with domain and range, we're going to be given an equation, y equals negative 1/3 x plus 5. They want to know what when the domain is 0, 3, 6, and 9, what the range is, okay? So in order to find that out, what I'm going to do is my domain, remember, is all my x values. So I'm going to take this equation and all those x values, and individually I'm going to plug all those x values into this equation. So y equals negative 1/3, 0 plus 5. Y equals negative 1/3. What were all my x values? There we go. 3 plus 5. Y equals negative 1/3 times 6 plus 5. Y equals negative 1/3 times 9 plus 5. And I have to find out what each and every one of these equals. So I have negative 1/3 times 0, which is 0, plus 5, which is 5. Negative 1/3 times 3, which is negative 1, plus 5, which is 4. Negative 1/3 times 6, which is negative 2, plus 5, which equals 3. Negative 1/3 times 9 is negative 3, plus 5, which equals 2. So when they ask me what my range is, my final answer is 2, 3, 4, 5, Most often, this is going to be in numerical order. All right, guys, there is more notes. Go ahead on to part 2 of this video.